particular situation with that park. It was supposed to be developed a number of years ago. It was supposed to be developed a shopping center or something to that effect. That didn't pass. Then you had, not long ago, 2-point-some million was missing from the 5 million. I think the attorney needs to come back with a full report on the monies of that park. And then on top of that, was research done with the park in Riverside, as you go into Riverside. That could be utilized as some kind of a park of that nature in order to make money, or for rodeos and things like that. So we need to sit down and figure out how to make money from that park and leave it like it is. And I want to know about that 5 million. I also would like to support the plan on Long Beach Boulevard. I want to know what takes so long from point A to point B to conclude business in the city of Compton. What takes so long? And we have a senior city manager now, and if we really feel that we're going to find that out. I'm about growing money as fast as possible, the right way. We want to know about that 5 million, what happened to 2-point-some. Now it seems like there's no money there at all. In the last report, there was $2-point-some million in that account. I want to know about that. The people want to know about that. And the speeding up of business. What takes so long to complete business in the city of Compton? I'd like to know those. And you never give answers right away. Matter of fact, you got some people that only show up at one meeting out of a month. So you don't have the full brain structure. But what takes so long to conclude business in the city of Compton? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. David Irons is no longer here. Ms. Kyron Kapanos. Ms. Joyce Kelly.
It really frustrates me, but actually it makes me mad as hell that you're going to sell my park. I told Eric Perriton this was my park, Alondra Regional Park. And right here in your resolution it says, development of former Alondra dump site. Think about that. What kind of sense does it make? I mean, Asia Brown, you're so smart. You sit up there, you talk for the city manager. You're not supposed to run the city, he is. But yet you know everything. But I want to know where the $5 million for this park went. Because at least 7, 8, 10 years ago, we went to different events at Burrell McDonald Park, describing, and I could tell you in detail what was supposed to be in that park. We had pictures, nice, colorful pictures, and then they were pasted around the wall. You're not going to sell this property. Who are you going to sell it to, LA County, like everything else? And as far as me talking about somebody's mama, if that woman comes here and talks the talk and offend other people, especially elected officials, she does not live here, I am going to talk about her, because you don't know what's going to happen. And some people don't deserve to be talked about, especially our elected leaders. If I talk about them, it's different. But I'm a mother as well. I live in this city. I don't live in Pasadena. But the thing is, you don't call my councilwoman a bitch and let other people hear you. You don't call my council person out of her name and let other people hear you.
I'm just going to remind you.
No, you talk the way you talk. You don't talk during my time. I'm telling you. Don't tell me what I can or cannot say. Thank you.
Ms. Kelly, I'm going to remind you that my mother is
I'm going to remind you.
Okay, good night, Ms. Kelly. You've been warned. You've been warned. Are you going to follow the rules?
Live under any dictatorship.
Okay, she's been
and
warned,
don't
Mr.
think
City
about
Attorney.
throwing me out of here. I've been thrown into better places than this.
She's disrupting the meeting.
Thank you. So you can leave if you would like, Ms. Kelly. But I'm just going to remind you that I'm an elected official. My mother is not. She's a civilian, and so the next correspondence you'll get from us will be a lawsuit. because we do have an attorney. And moving forward, on this item specifically, I'm requesting that this item be removed and pulled and brought back, and just so that we don't have people continue to say the same things about the same property. This was not supposed to be listed like this. And so I know that two members of the public had concerns about Elantra Regional Park. It is not, I can speak for myself, my desire to see this property sold and developed as something else. It is to be maintained as a park. So I'm asking that this item will come back appropriately as previously discussed. Ms. Lynn Boone?
Thank you, Lynn Boone. First of all, I want to ask the council to consider creating a city ordinance that our ballots will not be picked up by anyone. And I'm not saying that you cheated or whatever, Mr. Councilperson in District 2, but it has been alleged by some people, not in your district, just in general, that they felt that, you know, being pushed to actually give up their ballot. And I think if they can't mail them in, then they need to contact the city clerk and have the city clerk to send some designated person to pick it up, because those ballots can be changed too easy. Okay, when you tear that stub off, your number is on the top of that stub that matches that envelope, but it's nothing on that ballot. So it's nothing to say that you can't open that ballot, that envelope, and put another ballot in there. Anyway, and the other thing that I want to say is that, you know, I agree that families should be kept out of it. I've had some incidents that were threatened or whatever to my children, but going back in time, and I don't think Ms. McCoy was here, but Ms. Brown's mother did come up here to attack me, and she threatened to fight me. I went to the sheriff. I tried to speak to the city attorney, but he played crazy as usual. But I did report it to the sheriff, and it is a report. So, you know, with all things being kept in perspective, I never fought when I was younger, so I sure didn't wait to get this age to start fighting. And there's nothing in here to fight for. So, you know, with that being said, I'm not calling this lady any names, Mr. Galvan, but it is what it is, and this is not nothing that I heard. This was actually said to me. So, and I do appreciate your comment about leaving family out of the situation. Thank you.
Ms. Boone, that if you felt that you were threatened, and I hope that you took the legal precautions. My mother has only been to council meeting twice since I've been elected, and she does not have time nor interest in approaching gadflies and making threats or claims. So I'm going to request that if you have documentation, take the legal means. And I've also shared with you, ma'am, that any salacious commentary on my family, my husband, or my mother will be taken forward in court, because we actually have attorneys that we can actually move forward with those claims. So know that, and I'm going to proceed forward with the business of the city, and I hope that we'll see you again in 4 years running for office again, ma'am. Thank you. Madam City Clerk?
2 years.
You said 2 years, you're right. She'll be back in the second district.
First.
First, excuse me.
Approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion or amendments? Roll call.
Director Zarita.
Yes.
Galvan.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Sharif.
Yes.
Chairperson Brown.
Yes.
You're removing item number 2 is being removed.
Yes. And I just want to say publicly, this item was discussed, I can say for myself and also with Councilwoman McCoy, and the people were, number one, promised a park. If the long-range property plan has been changed, that needs to come forward for the benefit of the body and the residents. There's also tax allocation bond money assigned to this property, and so we need to ensure that we're following what was originally intended for these properties. It is not my interest to cater to the private sector and allow them to make a profit if there's an opportunity for the residents to be able to enjoy a public space, especially in the community of Compton, and most LA County is considered to be park poor, and if we have an opportunity to return a property back to a public use, then we should do that. And I know that ultimately it will be a council decision, but this RFP that's listed on this agenda is not what we discussed. It was also supposed to be an RFQ process because this property is contaminated. And there are various issues from the soil borings that have been already paid for by the city, as well as the fault line on that property. So there's some unique issues with this property that should be taken into consideration before an RFP is put out to market.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. City Manager, can I ask you to bring back a report about the monies that they're talking about, the money that was allocated for the, for a park, and to see if there is funding for that? And also, like you said, we need to find out what the property can be used for. So I would like all of that in a report. Thank you.
Okay.
And just to add my 2 cents to the property, the last discussion that I heard, really remember, about this property was probably a couple of years ago, and it was the Conservation Corps or somebody wanted to come in and do some kind of extravagant park with birds and live crop in it or something. It was, maybe if you can investigate that, it was Conservation Corps or somebody, I don't remember who it was, but the doc probably remember, and add that to the report back on the property.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk?
Item number 3 under new business is a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Successor Agency to the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Compton, authorizing the Executive Director to work out the terms of a purchase and sale agreement between Successor Agency and Open Development for acquisition and development of certain Successor Agency property located at 1117 South Long Beach Boulevard.
So moved.
Discussion. Just for the benefit of the public, Mr. City Manager, could you just briefly explain this project for the community?
I'm going to have our Successor Agency Director, Dr. Kofi, come up.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair and board members. Staff is humbly requesting board members to authorize the Executive Director to enter into a purchase and sale agreement between the Successor Agency and Open Development. Madam Chair and board members, as you know, one of our major functions of the Successor Agency is to facilitate the development of agency-owned properties as part of the winding down of the redevelopment agency. In order to maximize the sale of these properties for the benefit of the community and ensure that the goals and objectives of the city are met in the disposition of these agency-owned properties and ensure that the development benefit the community. The council in January also allowed staff to solicit for prospective developers who have the experience, the financial wherewithal, and capacity, ability to develop the site for the benefit of the community. The site in question is located. Yeah. Right. Now, the site was formerly known as the McDonald's site. That's how people get to know about it. It's been vacant for years, underutilized, and it's one of the properties that the agency has owned. Initially, we had wanted to develop it way back in 2010, but it was during the time that we were carrying out the development that the agency was dissolved. So it has been underutilized. We haven't had a developer. But since then, we have had several interests generated after the state allowed the redevelopment agency barely a year or two ago to commence development for the site. So, as I had indicated, the board authorized staff to solicit developers in order to cause the site to be developed. As a result of the RFP that was issued, we had about 4 developers, various ranging from Pumandari, a developer, Residential Retirement Fund, another developer, Compton Manor, another developer, and Open Development. A panel of 5 department heads reviewed proposals that were submitted for review, and also to select the most qualified developer that can transform this vacant site and also enhance the Long Beach Boulevard. After a series of evaluation from the city manager's office, the fire department, the planning department, the building and safety, and the Successor Agency, we came to a conclusion that one developer came out above the rest of them. One of the areas, one of the criteria upon which this developer was selected is that they presented a site plan. And they also submitted rendering. And they also had the financing capacity. A letter of interest, LOI, worth over 20 million was presented. And then also they submitted a letter showing that they're going to purchase this property on a fair market value. And with that, we decided that we will present the development proposal to the city manager and also the assistant city manager, so that we will determine whether it's appropriate to present this project to council. After a series of vetting back and forth, we felt that this is the developer that can transform Long Beach. So, at this point in time, I would like the members comprising of Open Development to come and present brief overview of this proposed development, which has a lot of benefit if in fact it happens to go through. For a period of 90 days, we're going to work out purchase and sale agreement. So Victoria Choi, who is the CEO of the company, would come and give us a brief information on the site. Sure, you can, yeah.
Good evening, Mayor and city staff and city manager. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to present the new development on this site 1117 on South Long Beach. And I'd like to introduce our executive staff of Mohammed Khan and myself, Victoria Choi, and also Henry Woods. And we have one more member. He didn't participate tonight's meeting. His name is Frank K. Witten. And I would like to present the new projects. We are proposing 81 units of 100% senior housing into this site with little over 11,000 square feet of the retail space. We were informed going back with our district Emma Shrift when we were having a meeting, and we have actually a great idea about collaborating farmers market. So we decided to use the upper rooftop to utilize as a senior to actually grow crops and something to give them more activities. So when we heard about the city has a program about the farmers market, so we decided to incorporate with the city project as well. So we do have actually a rooftop deck. If you see that up in the corner, that's just kind of an idea to actually educate seniors and give them more ideas to do a wellness. So when we started this senior housing, I thought about my parents, and I thought about our grandparents. What would you like to, if they wanted to live somewhere close by with our families, and they still need some well-being and health care. And as an Asian, we all think about our well-being, what we eat, and I start my day with my parents about the food and about the organic and about the long life. And we're talking about long, 100 years of ages now. And my grandfather just passed away age of 104. And my parents are still living, age of 80, but they are more healthier than I am. So they do about 10 miles in the morning running, and they do normally between 5 miles of walking every day. So I incorporate that kind of idea into our project. So when you see the site plan, it's kind of long and narrow property. So I decided giving them the walk pathway about 2.5 miles. So if seniors come out and try to walk around the pad, which I am providing with the rubber, so it will be very good on the knees. So we kind of really spend a lot of time thinking about what really they need. So this project is actually we are working on so many different projects in different cities, but then this has been my heart, and this is something that I would like to share and then to brag about to other developer friends. So let me show you some of the site plans along with the city views. And the yellow spaces are for the community spaces where we like to incorporate with churches, and they can utilize the space as well. Because we will have our management team to work with the city and also the local churches if they can well organize and utilize the space as well, open to the community. And I have hired the designer who actually designed Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. So we have a very modern architecture schemes from the exterior, and we have well thought of all these elements into the projects, which is having exercise equipment from outside, and also all these detailed materials that you cannot see. But then one of the favorite material that I am so glad to use is the rubber material for the flooring. Okay, let me just go back and look at the exterior of the aerial map. Can you help me to just go back? Okay. This is how it's gonna look once it's completed. So we are proposing 81 units with the studio, 1-bedroom apartment, and then also 9 of the 2-bedroom apartments with 11,000 square feet of the retail space. So we are highly encouraging the seniors, and I don't really want to say seniors because people live long time these days. Actually, when Koreans say actually the life begins from the 70s. So we are having so many retail space on the bottom for I would like to say workforce. So actually the seniors can have a small part-time job on the bottom in the retail spaces. So they don't have to really drive around and then just be more active. And our senior center and also the community center, it's about a little over 2,000 square feet spaces. And along the outside of the exterior back, we have a Tai Chi section where people can exercise. So we will work with those athletic teams to collaborate with the seniors to just do more activities with us. So I would like to ask the city and city staff to just continue to support us to bring the best project in town. And if you have any suggestion to put that in to our development, I'm very open to accept your ideas. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Sharif?
Well, first of all, I really want to thank Dr. Kofi, and I want to thank Ms. Coy. When I first came on, that she came and she showed it to me, the project. And one of the things I did like about it was because it was senior housing. And I know that we are really running low when it comes to having enough housing here in the city, especially for our seniors. And that's what she was really shared with me. And I believe that our city manager spoke with her as well, and I got input from him as to what his feelings were about it. And I spoke with Dr. Kofi and everything. So I was just really wanted them to make a presentation here to the council and to the community, because one of the things I wanted to make sure is that sometimes we bring projects in and the council never, and the community never get a chance to see what is really coming. And by her making the presentation here at the council meeting, it did give I think it gives the community an opportunity to actually see what is being done here on Long Beach Boulevard. And I think this is going to be, I do believe this will be an asset there to Long Beach Boulevard as far as that redevelopment piece and trying to change the things there on Long Beach Boulevard. And so I am looking forward to hopefully that it's coming into the city. Yes.
Thank you. Any additional council comments?
I'd like to say welcome back. It's been a long time. So, in looking at your rendering, it's beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
When did you first bring this to the council? About 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago? 3 years ago? So do you have a relationship with Starbucks?
Starbucks?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, because I see it's there. I think it'll do really good there. I just wanted to just say that it is a beautiful project.
Thank you so much.
And I think that corner is well deserving of a project like this. So glad to see you back, and good luck.
Thank you so much. We did have actually a presenter supposed to be here, Frank K, and he's actually out of town, so I actually wasn't prepared to do a presentation today because we were so I didn't really prepare to do public speaking, so
You did
apologize.
good. You did
Thank you.
You did a
Okay.
great job, and I just want to thank you because you really spoke from your heart, and you can see the passion that you have for this project.
Yes.
And also for the future occupants and for the community. So I just really appreciate the quality of the development, all the small things that you've made adjustments for. And I know that the future residents will be very happy, and it's going to be very transformative to the entire area. And
Oh,
so,
thank you so much.
and to
Really
your entire
appreciate it.
team, you all have persevered the changes and the dissolution of the Successor Agency, of redevelopment, and now to the Successor Agency, and you've stuck with the city. And so we thank you for your commitment to seeing a project through and actually getting to this point. So you all are to be commended as well. Thank you.
I had a question.
Yes, I'd like to
You
add
guys-
one more thing
Oh, go
to
ahead.
Dr. Kofi. I drove him crazy.
Well, you're
He
here
worked
now.
very hard with me,
I guess
side
we're
by
even.
side, to
Yeah.
get to
Right.
this point. And thank you so much for Dr. Kofi for just supporting us.
Do you guys have a written commitment from Starbucks that they're gonna go there already? A written commitment from Starbucks that they're gonna go there? Discussions, but not a commitment that they're gonna go there, right? The only reason I was asking is because if they don't go, what do you have in mind to put it instead of them? Like Coffee Bean or something like that? Or maybe like your own house brand or something, right? All right, I was just curious. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you again.
Victoria, thank you and your whole team. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk.
There's a motion on the floor.
Thank you, Madam. Roll call.
Director Zarita.
Yes.
Galvin.
Yes.
McCoy. Sharif.
Yes.
Chairperson Brown.
Yes.
Yeah, director's comments.
Director Zarita.
No, thank you.
Director Galvan.
Yeah, I just want to respond to Mr. Holyfield's indirect jab at me saying I come to the council meeting once a month. I think statute of limitations is 5 years, so he better hope that I don't become interested in getting my money back for the catering I paid for the fundraiser I had, because if he keeps doing stuff like that, maybe I will be. So that's all I want to say, and I'm excited about the new development taking place in the city of Compton. I hope it creates jobs for our residents. I hope you give our Compton residents first crack at the jobs. How many jobs do you think it'll create? Yeah, go ahead.
Please come forward.
That's something nobody asked.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is this on, Mayor?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mayor, City Council. I was amazed that nobody even mentioned that part, but one thing about this particular building, it's really going to be a showcase for you. The product that's being utilized here is a product that's 85% recycled material. It's been utilized for about 45 years. We built in Arizona, we built in Florida and things like that, but we wanted to bring this aspect here. The unique concept about that is that the product itself has a firewall rating of 5 hours. You also have an R14 to R22 insulation factor. That means the air conditioning and heat can stay in, et cetera, that way. You have no wood in this building, so you have to worry about any termites or black mold or things of that nature. We have an 8.5 on the Richter scale test out of China. So it's a very good product, number one. But number two, because of its ease of installation, we can create more jobs that borders the line of you might say, construction versus bricklaying. So it's much more easy to do that. So we think we could probably have about maybe 15 to 20 guys working on this particular job, but it also transcends into a training program that's going to span out, because this particular building, we're going to be having Caltrans, everybody looking at this building, developers, who will also be picking up the product. That means the workforce that we currently have on that job, we can now mobilize to go somewhere else. And we also have other jobs going in other states, so if they want to move elsewhere, they can follow us in other states and installate the product. So that's basically about the product. So we'll be creating jobs, not only in this project, but also throughout the city of Los Angeles.
You know, also, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I'm sure you are, that we have a career link. I believe the address is 700 North Bullis Road. We have people going, our own Compton residents, going there and applying for jobs every day. So if you're looking for workers, that may be a good place to connect with. Kimberly McKenzie does a great job in referring the best people for the jobs. And I know that myself, and I think I could say this for all my colleagues, we want to make sure that our people get some of the jobs that are coming into the city.
Well, we'll definitely be looking at that, and we will only be looking at the individuals from Compton, California, to be honest with you. So
thank you so much. I'm excited to hear that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner McCoy? Thank you. Commissioner Sharif?
You know, Mayor Brown, I am going to make a comment because Ms. Kelly made a statement, and I'm going to speak in regards to her statement. And I think I have a tendency to sometimes do things a little different than other people, and I'm okay with that. And I hope that other some people may be okay with it as well. First of all, I do not like to get into confrontation with people, because I don't think it's necessary for me, and I try to be very mindful of that as an elected official. But as an elected officials, I think we all need to be mindful that we do have obligation to each other here on this council, for us to be respectful of each other, and for us to make sure that we are trying to bring some consensus here to this council. And so with that, that is the statement that I'm making right now, is that I believe that as a council person, it doesn't matter what happened here in this city, it doesn't matter what happened anywhere, is that as a council person, my job is to always try to make sure that I bring consensus here to this council, so this council can actually focus on the things that we're supposed to be focusing on, and that is the needs of this community and addressing the needs of this community. And anything outside of that, I will address it outside of this council, but that is where I am at this point.
May we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Roll call?
Director Zarita? Yes. Galvin?
Yes.
McCoy? Yes. Sharif?
Yes.
Chairperson Brown?
Yes.
Good night, everyone. See you next week.